self-love. So I have a post where I talk about self-love, and I really wanted to go briefly through what I've wrote with you guys because I think it's an important topic, and it's just my perspective on self-love. It's not like a general rule, but this is my perspective on it, and I really want to share it with you guys so you guys can take some inspiration from it, and hopefully it will give you some value. And then Aaron has prepared another topic when it comes to resistance and stuff like that. So it's going to be an exciting call either way. So it's going to be two different topics, but I'm pretty sure that it will give you something that you can use to implement in your life. So I haven't prepared a presentation like Erin has. Erin has created a beautiful presentation that she will go through with you guys. But I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to show you my blog, and I'm just going to read what I wrote. And this is purely my words when I was 19 years old. So that's pretty interesting looking back at. So I'm just going to share my screen, and then we're going to dive into confidence and self-love and how they go hand in hand with each other. So can everybody see my screen? I believe that I posted this in the group last week. So I really want to go through the different posts that I have written because I do believe that these are powerful insights that I have received. I might not be the oldest, but I have I have a few stuff that I really do feel like is a game changer just to know and be aware of. So when it comes to confidence and self-love, to pick up the topic from last week's call, I came to the conclusion that first of all, obviously, you have to learn to love yourself before you can love anyone else, because it all starts with you. And you might think that you know love, and you might, but it all depends on how much you love yourself. Because in the end, the outer world is just a reflection of your inner riches, which means that your self-love will be reflected back to you through other people and experiences. So depending on if you truly love yourself, I believe that you're going to have better experiences with both people and life itself. But if you have not worked as much on your self-love, that might reflect back to you in your experiences and people that you meet. Because I also realize that you can only feel love, you can only feel the love of another person on the same level of your self-love. Does that make any sense? To me, this was a big one. And that's why it's so important to learn to love yourself first. And on our last call, we spoke a bit about how you can love yourself and so on. But when you learn to love yourself, then you can feel love on a deeper level as your love for yourself grows. So I'm here to tell you what I've learned, so maybe you'll understand something that you did not understand before. That's my mission. And the most important key to self-confidence and self-love is simply knowing that there is only one of you in the entire world. So be proud of who you are, what you are capable of, and own it with pride. Because trust me when I say that everything that you need already lies within you. You just have to find it, and you won't find it anywhere else. Because most people spend their time searching for answers in the external world, but the only place that you will find the true answer is within yourself. So that's why it's so important to dig deep on who you are, what makes you glow, and what makes you happy. So self-confidence and self-love needs to be built from within. You cannot find it in external world. And if you build it on compliments or external things, it will shatter with criticism and situations that are out of your control. So let me tell you something that might shift your perspective. You've probably heard this before, but we all came to this world alone and we all will die alone. And the there's only one person you can rely on in its life, and that's yourself. So you have to learn to love yourself to the point where everyone else starts to question what you're doing, what they're doing wrong. Because in the end, you've got it all, and you have to learn to love yourself to the point where being alone does not feel like being alone. You have to start looking at yourself like you're your only friend, because the only person who has been there for and with you every second of your life is you. So appreciate yourself, show some love, treat yourself like you would treat your best friend, because that's what you need to be to yourself when life gets tough. So start talking to yourself as you would talk to your best friend, especially when you are going through a tough time, because let's be honest, if you were to treat your friend as you treat yourself, you probably wouldn't have any. Start complimenting yourself. Do mirror work. I know Erin is a fan of this one. This is a way to boost your self-esteem. So you can stand in the mirror. This might be weird in the beginning, but I used to do this a lot. You stand in the mirror and then you tell yourself how much you love and appreciate yourself for being there every second of your life. So tell your tell yourself the stuff that you wish other people told you, because other people will treat you how you treat yourself. So feel how good it feels and feel your love for yourself expand and turn into a confident bomb, because that's what really happens. It's like magic. I don't know, something about it. So just think about it. You've been there for yourself during all your experiences, and how do you thank yourself? Start thanking yourself by being kind to yourself and giving yourself a break, because the world is cruel enough as it is, and you should not be one of the reasons why life is tough. You should be one of the reasons why life is worth fighting for. Your love for yourself should be motivating enough to keep you going through the dirt that life throws at you. So believe in yourself, let it shine, and inspire people to do the same. Because when you start loving yourself, it will um what's it called? Impact people in such a great way. Um, and Erin is a great example of this, because I know that she loves herself and it does actually impact me in a very positive way. So, so as you learn to love yourself, you also learn to detach from the things that you do not love. And confidence is a result of self-love. So when you start to love yourself, your confidence starts to grow. So those two go hand in hand. Your goal will be to become so confident in who you are that no one's opinion, rejection, or behavior can trigger a reaction in you. And personally, I've been to this point multiple times. Of course, life goes up and down. Sometimes you might feel better than others, but your goal should be to come to that point that no one's opinion, rejection, or behavior can trigger a reaction in you. You gain confidence every time you overcome fear of something, every time you step out of your comfort zone, or every time you do something that scares you. This will give you confidence in return as a reward for doing something that you did not want to do in the first place. Because on the other side of fear is often something beautiful. So just remember, confidence is not about showing off. It's not about speaking the loudest. It's or expecting attention from other people. It's simply knowing your worth and who you are and being appreciative of your own qualities and what you bring to the table. It's all about accepting yourself as you are, because you know that you are one of a kind. Have in mind that every time you do something you said you wouldn't do, every time you do something uh, and every time you do something you said you would do, or something, every time you don't do what you said you were going to do, you are disrespecting yourself and your values, which can drive you away from self-love and confidence. So just be aware of that. Um, and just remember that your only competition is you. No one else. You are your own worst enemy that you have to find a way to defeat with love. And that's so true. In the meanwhile, act like the world is yours, walk like you're the boss, talk like you've got everyone's attention, and love yourself as it's all you got, because in the end, it really is all that you've got. So I also wrote 7 tips on how to appear more confident. So these are 7 things that you can do so that you come across as confidence. And first of all, it's simply just fixing your posture because how you hold your body will define a certain type of energy. So we say shoulders back, chin up, and then relax your body. So the second tips is stop looking down when talking. Like, for example, when you're having a conversation and you look down, that's not confidence. But if you only look to the sides, you become more confident. And then eye contact is extremely important. Although I've been struggling with eye contact, I had a period where I was really working on keeping eye contact. So it's just practice it, and it will become more natural for you to do. And then it's the fourth step is always keeping your head held high. And I don't mean too high because then you might appear cocky, but I mean just keep it high. Other thing is number 5, don't interrupt other people when they are speaking. Keep your mind quiet and just listen. That's very attractive. And number 6, talk slow and be firm with your words. That's confidence. 7, control your emotions and react out of maturity. So that's 7 simple tips to appear more confident. So I just want to end it with believe in yourself, especially when you are speaking to other people. Believe in what you are talking about. And last but not least, believe that you are capable of achieving anything that you set your mind to because you are. You just have to unlock that part of you that believes it to be true. So I hope this was valuable. I'm gonna send the link out in the group once again, just so you can have a look at it, or if you want to go back and take some notes. Um, so that was it for me when it comes to self-love and confidence. This is, in my opinion, everything that I had a epiphany about when it comes to loving myself and yeah, when it comes to confidence. Here you have everything that changed my perspective on self-love and confidence. So I hope it's useful to you. And then I am going to give the word to Erin.
I love that. That was so good. I read it, but hearing you like say it, I don't know. I could just see it in your face, like how much you really believe it. And I can't believe that you were 19 when you wrote that.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty.
definitely not the mindset I had when I was 19.
All right. Well, I am excited to see your presentation.
Okay, so first let's talk about how Katrina wants to blow this up and say it's a beautiful presentation. The thing that I love most about this group is Katrina and I are starting this from zero. So there's a lot of growth. And when I say growth, it means even creating a PowerPoint. I've been sending messages to T and to Katrina all morning saying, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't like it. And I can't do a presentation and I don't know how to have my notes. It's just been it's been a great morning. So when I share my screen, I am very proud of this very minimal presentation, but it's going to get the point across. The thing that I love the most is when I'm a diamond and I'm walking across that stage at whatever convention we're at, you guys are going to be like, remember that time that she did that PowerPoint, that presentation, yeah, look at how far she's come. That's where my mindset's been today. So, anyways, let me share my screen. We'll just say that, and I just did it on Canva. So we're going to keep it on Canva because every time I try to open up my document, it doesn't work. So Today, we are going to talk about releasing fear and resistance. But before you can release fear, you have to know how to identify it. Oh, now let's see how we go to the next slide. Ooh. Oh. Okay. So before we start this, I say this every time, but I feel like everything just falls into place. Like last week, talking about self-love, it all just kind of builds. Each week that we build on top of the week prior to. Um, so when I say that this affects the speed of your manifestation, this really does affect the speed of your manifestation. So if you've ever felt like your desires, you've put them out there and you're doing everything right, but there's just something that is blocking your success. That is what this presentation is going to be about. And I didn't want to go backwards. See, told you guys this is going to be fun. All right. So before we get started, I want everybody to take a deep breath. I want you to close your eyes for a second, and I want you to just tune into yourself. I want you to ask yourself, am I truly open to receiving everything that I desire? If any part of you hesitates right now, that's the part that we're going to work on like discovering today. So you can open up your eyes. And this first part is fear and resistance. They are the invisible walls between you and your manifestation. I want you to think of the universe as an open highway. Your desires are trying to reach you, but your fears are what's creating the roadblocks, the detours, and the stop signs that you may be receiving that's delaying the process. So, fear of failure. What if I try and it doesn't work? Fear of success. What if I can't handle it when it comes? Fear of judgment. What will people think of me? Fear of the unknown. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know when this is going to happen. So maybe it just won't. It just won't happen. You guys can't see the bottom of this, can you? Oh, shit. I don't know how to move this. See, I told you this is just learning. What I do, Katrina, I specifically put the background as the beach. I did this for you too, T, because I know that you guys have been rainy and cold, so I just wanted to give a little bit of the ocean's energy to you. This is gonna drive me crazy, guys. One day I'll be really good at it, I promise. I promise. All right, so resistance happens when we don't truly believe in ourselves, which is why I loved that Katrina started this today's call with her blog from, a couple of years ago, because self-love and it's just so important. So when we don't truly believe that we're worthy, we question the how. Or maybe it's we're too clingy to the how or the when and basically just the control. Let's just say we're too clingy to the control of the outcome. The moment you resist is when you slow everything down. Manifestation is not about force. Manifestation is about allowing. And for those of you in the group, like if manifestation is a word that might be like a little bit intimidating, I want you to think of all the team calls that we have with Eddie, with Myron, with Max. Everything that they're describing is manifestation. It's just in a different term. They might use goals, they might use your dreams, but they've manifested, they've created this version of themselves, they've created this outcome. It's manifestation, it's just in a different light. Right. So let's go. So, and this is something that I say every call to, I feel like, but the secret. So, of course, the secret to manifestation is feeling, right? Like you have to be able to feel what it feels like to know your manifestation. Feeling is the secret. But before you can even get to know what the feeling is, you have to have awareness. So, awareness is the secret. Awareness is the key that unlocks the speed of manifestation. So, the faster you recognize fear and resistance, the faster you can release them and get back into the flow. So I want all of you to reflect on this. What has been, and think about this last week. Don't go back too far, like last month. Think about this last week or right now. If you can identify something right this second, what is the biggest fear or resistance you've been holding on to? And be honest. Like nobody's going to go through your notes. Write it down. Um, it could be it could be about money. It could be about your business. It could be about your relationship. It could be with your spouse. It could be with your friendship, your parents. But what is stopping you from getting to that next level? I want you to write it down. So I want you to ask yourself, if I fully trusted that my success was inevitable, would I still hold on to this fear? Would I let it slow me down? Probably not. Because when you trust yourself and you trust that the manifestation is going to happen, you trust the universe, you trust God, you trust the higher, whoever it is that you believe in, you just have trust that everything is going to be okay. Um, that's when you're moving with confidence. That's where I feel like you can't move with confidence until you have that confidence in yourself. So going back to Katrina's post, how she's talking about learn how to have confidence in yourself, that's the beginning of that. You have to have confidence in yourself and you have to have confidence that everything's going to work out. How? I have no idea, but you just know deep in your soul, once you connect to that higher version of yourself, you just know that um, because you trust yourself and you're moving with confidence, the universe is going to match your energy. That's a given fact. That's a promise that I can 100% back up. So let's go to the next one. So this is the big one where we are, I'm trying to think of other examples of failure. We'll get into that. And I'm going to give you guys a little story at the end of this. So how do we know when to shift? How do we collapse time and speed up our manifestations? So identity, so you're going to identify and you're going to acknowledge. You can't shift what you don't see. So every time a fear comes up or the resistance comes up, you have to catch it. And I say this about a lot of things. When this fear comes up, you say, I see you. I know that this is fear. You address it head on and you say, and I choose to move through you. This goes with fear of anything, but it's being aware of your thoughts. So when you think about, like today, it's like that fear of, I don't know how to do a presentation. And what if I get up there and it all just falls apart? It's fine. This is the whole point of growing this group is showing you guys that none of us are perfect. Half of us don't know what we're doing, but we're trying. And that's all that matters. We're applying ourselves and that's it. So instead of saying, what if I fail? Shift to, what if this works out better than I imagine? Um, and the key to all of this is act as if. The fastest way to manifest is to embody the version of you who already has it. Ask yourself daily, what would the millionaire version of myself do in this situation? This brings me back to the 2.0. If you guys have not completed the 2.0 worksheet, I love you so much, but I'm going to shake you. I'm going to shake you because it's the first step to creating everything that you want. It's you each week we're building, but you can't build until you know exactly who it is you're trying to become. And it could be as easy as um, I'm going to devote myself to. Last week, I was a procrastinator. This week, I'm going to give an hour to Sage Master. This week, I'm going to give an hour to the business that I'm going to create. The 2.0 was the very first level up call that we did. So if you go into Telegram at the very top, and if you click on, I think the group name, it's underneath documented. It's labeled 2.0, but I highly suggest that you do it um, because I promise you it's going to change, especially if you guys follow the weekly challenges that I'm giving you. There's no way that you're not going to have a millionaire mindset. Um, all right, so surrender and trust. I think this is just, yeah, fear shrinks when faced with action, which is totally true. Um, what would my millionaire self do? That's like one of the things, like last week I told you to write down, how do I talk to myself when nobody's looking? This is another thing that I want you to write down for this week. And I want you to think about it every day. What would my millionaire self do? So important. I just don't know how to stress it. All right. So surrender and trust. Let go of the control and trust that everything's unfolding into perfect timing, or what I like to call divine timing. Everything is always working out for you. Everything. You are an hour late. You woke up late. You were stuck behind traffic. It does not matter what excuse you throw at me. It is divine timing, and I believe that it was protection in some shape or form. All right. So when you release the resistance, you speed up the process. I'm gonna go to this next way. And I also did like the weekly challenge. I have another document that I'm going to put into. I might show you guys before I get off, but it has a bunch of affirmations. But these are some good affirmations. I'm not sure if I put these in the document or not, but you get it. So trust the universe is working in your favor. Surrender control. Flow, don't force. Resistance delays manifestations. One of the stories that I'm going to tell you right now is for those of you who don't know, I am currently in Florida. I'm living with my mother at the time being. I was injured at work. I've been a nurse for about 10 years and I was injured at work and I've been not medically cleared to go back to nursing for about 2 years now. It's 2 years this month. I lost my apartment in New York. My son, I have a 14-year-old son, and he is in New York with his father and stepmother. Although I'm able to travel frequently to see him, it's not, we have 50-50 shared custody. So he's used to a week with mom, a week with dad. So this has been I've been in Florida for about 6 months now. Um, since I've been here, I have struggled because I say that I've surrendered everything completely and I've given it all to God and I'm doing all of this work on myself. Um, but February of this year, right before Katrina and Andreas came to meet me in Orlando, something happened. I don't know what happened to me, but I just said, you know what, God, I completely trust you. And I'm going to start making a life in Florida, which means I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to get a gym membership. I'm going to get on a dating site. I'm going to start meeting people. I'm going to totally get out of my comfort zone. I was holding myself back because I didn't want to be in Florida. Florida is not where I see myself. I want to be with my son. This is where I want to be. So it was not even 7 days of me doing this. I was in Orlando with Katrina and I got a phone call saying that we are talking a settlement for my case, which my attorneys and everybody has said is just, it doesn't happen. It's almost the impossible. My attorneys were just, they're like, if it has not been over 5 years, they don't talk about settling. And in my head, the only thing I could think about is, well, they've never worked with a master manifester before. But this has been 6 months of me resisting and living in fear that I don't want to stay in Florida. I want to be with my son. And me, it's that ego part of me. But it was just that fear because I had no control over the how. I had no control over the when. And it's like, all right, I finally just got to the point, and it wasn't because I've been through this before. Other times it was like rock bottom, ugly crying, just thought my life was over when I surrendered. This time was different. I did it with grace, and I just kind of go to the point where it's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? That my son has to come here for the summers and all of his holidays. Like, that's the worst. I always go to what is the worst thing that can happen. And I also like to do the 7 levels of why. That's another document that's in there. I do the 7 levels of why, not just when it comes to something that I'm manifesting, but any problem that I'm going through, any problem that I'm going through. Um, right now, I did the 7 levels of why this morning. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to fly out of to go to Barcelona because I still haven't gotten my ticket, but I need to get it this weekend. So I wrote down like what is stopping me. What fear do I have? Like I'm trying to address the fear. How do I address the fear? You go through the whys. why? You go through all the levels, and then it dawned on me this morning. Um, but now I'm looking at, I will be back in New York. Probably as soon as I get back from Barcelona, I will have a place back in New York. So we're talking about it's been about 8 months, the whole process. But as soon as I surrendered and I completely let go, had the confidence in myself that you know what you're doing, you know that everything's going to work out for you, everything fell into place. And it's just been amazing. I didn't realize, like when I was doing this presentation, I just kept thinking about how fast everything came to when I surrendered the control. So this trust exercise, I did this morning too because I loved it. So I threw this in here. I want you guys to write down 3 times, and you don't have to do it right now, but just remember this so you can think about 3 times when stuff worked out for you unexpectedly. It could be recently, it could be a long time ago. Normally, we remember these things because we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. But I want you to write it down. And then I want you to remind yourself this next week, especially if you're going to do the 7 week challenge. I want you guys to remind yourself that remember that those 3 times when I was not expecting this to happen, it did happen and it can happen again. If it happened once, it can happen again. Um, so, yes, I want you guys to write that down. And then, so the other thing that I loved, Katrina, we're so in sync. Like, I just can't, because this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about was confidence. And of course, you know that I love the mirror work. But I want you guys to all declare, I want you to say, I release all fear. And this is in the document that I'm going to send you. I release all fear. I release all resistance, and I'm fully open to myself receiving my desires, ease, and speed. When you say these affirmations, whether it's this affirmation or it's the affirmations that I have in the document, I want you guys to be aware of how you're speaking. Are you slouched down? Are you like, I'm aware, I can do this, I know I'm powerful? Like, yeah. Think of how you speak. If you look at yourself and you say, I know that I deserve this, God, how, show me the least path of resistance to get this. Show me what I need to do. Use your voice, sit up straight and talk to yourself. Talk the person inside of you. You're trying to find your higher self. Speak to her. Speak to her like you're already her. Say these affirmations with your chest. Mean it. Say it like you're saying it to somebody that you love, your best friend, your mother, your daughter, your sister, whoever. But speak with love and speak with confidence because it's going to change everything. Um, I want you to say the affirmations that I'm going to put in the group. I want you to say them out loud. I want you to feel it and I want you to own it. Even if you have to sit there for 5 minutes and go back and forth with that person inside of you that's like, oh my gosh, this is stupid. Why am I doing this? It's not stupid. I'm doing this because I deserve it. And I'm trying to make us have the best life possible. Like, yell at her if you have to with love and light. But I promise you, that I want to like Katrina, I'm gonna like take a clip of what you wrote with that confidence thing and we're gonna make it into a bulletin. I don't know where we're gonna put it, but that's like head on what we're going to do. All right, I think that's all I have. I want to thank you guys so much for showing up today. And actually let me show you really quick. Let me go to I'm gonna put this in the group, but I did maybe. I am really good at technology. I really am. Oh, look, here we are. So I kind of did what I did last week. I did a note section. This is all notes over what we did. Weekly challenge. So basically what I did was I created there's like a journal prompt. You can use it as a journal prompt, or you can use it if you don't like to journal, you can just use it as let's read it out loud and go over in your head that moment. What you're thinking, but it's a prompt for you to think about for a little bit. So, like day one is identify your fear and resistance. Write down the biggest fear or resistance that's slowing your success. Ask yourself if I truly trusted my success, would I still believe this? So, and then there's an affirmation for each day too. So, there's You can do this for 7 days. There's some really good ones because you can go through and decide if you want to rearrange the days at all, but I feel like the order that they're in, I liked, but do whatever resonates with you guys. The other challenge that I would say is if the 7 day challenges are just too much for you, then I challenge you kind of what I did last week. Each day, when you wake up in the morning, make it very, like, make yourself aware that you're going to focus on how you talk to yourself. You're also going to be aware of fear. So when you wake up, you're going to say, I am going to focus on my thoughts today, and I'm going to call out any fear that I'm fearing, any resistance that you may like, that hesitation that you get. Um, I'm pretty sure you all know what resistance feels like, but the whole point of these weeks is just for us to do what feels right. So I just encourage you guys to do whatever resonates with you. Don't feel like if you don't do the challenge that you're failing because you're not. If you guys showed up on this call, you're winning at life. If you're watching the replay, you're winning at life. It's about the small steps that you take and it's about being intentional and purposeful. So you're all doing a great job. And I really am so proud of all of you. Reach out with any questions that you may have. And I think that is all I have, Katrina. Now I need to figure out how to stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, I think we're good. We're probably good to end this call, but um, we might do a call on Tuesday, 7 p.m. It's a bit quick, but let's try it. So we'll do a level up call on Tuesday, and we'll do an introduction call tomorrow and on Wednesday. So I will post in the group the time and the link, and yeah, it was a great call, great presentation, by the way. So I'm excited to see how good you become at making those presentations.
Clicker. I've already like it's already in my Amazon call. Like I'm just
Yeah.
gonna have a clicker and it's gonna be amazing. So you
Yeah.
guys get ready.
All right. Well, have a good weekend, and we'll see each other tomorrow.
All right, guys, take care.
Goodbye.